Hello, welcome to episode 150 of Floating Through Film. It is your host Luke, and today it's our last episode on our Nicholas Ray series. It's a sad day, but it had to come eventually. And the two movies we'll be doing today, to round it out, will be his 1955 film, Bitter Victory. Was it 57? Actually, yeah, it might have 57. 1957 film, Bitter Victory, and then his 60, 62?
I think it's 58, isn't it?
Was it 50? Was it 58? Damn.
It might be 60. I mean, I didn't look as close. I
probably should have checked this before we started, just to be sure.
I thought that they were a year apart.
1958, you're right, okay. You're right. 1958 film, Wind Across the Everglades. So, two great films we'll be talking about today. Before we get into it, let me introduce my co-host Blake.
What's up?
And Danny.
Hello.
Before we really get into the films, though, it is interesting, and this wasn't like an intentional thing, but I didn't realize how similar these two films were before I picked them. Yeah. Like, if you think about it, like, it's crazy because both films are kind of about these like two men who are kind of like opposed to each other. It's almost about like their kind of like in a way, it's about like their rivalry in a way, or just like this like kind of conflict between the two, but also their conflict playing out in this like environment that kind of like exposes it more, or like just like meddles with it, you could say.
It's like they're seeing what it takes to be a man almost.
Yeah. It's like
like what it actually means to be a man.
It's like exposing like the true like their true feelings, thoughts, like.
Yes, it's making
true
them
intentions.
The animals.
Making them the animals. Yeah, like kind of stripping away that like human nature, or not human nature maybe, but like their human facade, or at least just like just like any like filter they may have. But that was crazy. I would not mean for it to be like. It's interesting to see the similarities between these two, but yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get into Bitter Victory though, which is one of my favorite Ray films, which it wasn't initially, but rewatching it has helped me realize how good it is. So before I talk about it, let me ask y'all's overall thoughts, starting with you, Blake, because you haven't seen it before, right?
I have not. No, I wouldn't say this is my favorite, but I did like it a lot. I liked it. I liked the relationship between the two guys, obviously, which, I mean, the movie kind of hinges on. You have to buy into their relationship. But it's asking, like, a question of, like, what does it mean to be a man? Or be a human, I guess. Not even just a man, but a human in the midst of war.
Yeah.
Because, and like, one of the men sees exactly what war does to him, and the other man is completely, like, he's just running away from it. And I just, like, I kind of love how Ray's just, like, showing the extent to which Brand will run away and deny running away, even to the point of like I don't know if he killed Leith or whatever his name is, but he could, like, I'm with the men there. Like, he, no matter what happened, he's the one that caused his death. So I don't know, and he can't run away from it anymore at that point. I don't know. It's like Leith like basically sacrificed himself to make this man realize like the horrors of war almost. I don't know. Because there's this moment whenever Brand comes back, and I think it's like right before he comes back, because the wife is like right outside the door to the military general's office or whatever. Yeah. And the officer's just in there saying like, "Oh, we knew there'd be sacrifices on this mission. That's but those are acceptable losses or whatever."
Yeah.
And it's just like that's the two wills in this movie almost, is like this human side of like Leith and the troops, and then the basically corporate side of the military, like the generals and officers. But I don't know. I really liked it. There's a lot going on in the movie, obviously. Yeah. And the desert setting is beautiful.
Like how he shoots like the skies and stuff too, like along with the desert. That's great.
Yeah, but I definitely wasn't expecting this to be as similar to Wind Across the Everglades either.
Yeah.
But it definitely is like throwing these men into these harsh environments just to basically see what they're made of almost.
Yes. Sure.
I liked it a lot, so.
Yeah. No, I agree. Especially about the environment part about these movies. I agree with the similarities. I kind of disagree about the two characters being similar, because I don't know. We'll talk about Wind Across the Everglades, but with these two, they're definitely supposed to be more like antagonistic. Like like one is like Blake said, the two sides of like corporate versus like I don't know the more
like this human side almost.
The human or
the side of the
like,
soul.
The soul. Like I was seeing it more just like you said earlier about like what it takes to be a man. I was kind of thinking of it like that. And like the words that kept coming in my head throughout watching it was like courage versus cowardice.
Yeah.
Because there are like quotes like that throughout the movie too. I'll have to point them out, but basically like this like officer guy who has like a certain like display of courage, but like we see in like that one moment he's like basically a coward. He's not able to do it, and that basically lives with him the rest of the time of this movie.
Yeah.
Of like he doesn't want other people to see that, and Leith is the one guy that really knows.
So you're saying like Leith is more like the braver one?
Yeah, just.
I don't know. It's
and
like,
he's actually more willing to like be more
for a lot of the film, yes, but I do think Ray hints that he might still have some cowardice, especially with the romance, because at the beginning of the film, it's said that like he ran away from the girl basically.
Yeah. But see, he's more willing.
I mean, that's kind of like cowardice.
He's more willing to accept it though.
I guess.
Like especially with this war aspect, where I think it's kind of implied that he ran away because he's like he sees himself. He knows what a soldier is.
Yeah.
He like knows what he is. Versus this other guy doesn't really, he sees himself as the good man with like the good wife and stuff, but he's kind of a coward. Like he's willing to kill, but only in the right ways, you know.
Yeah.
Not willing to make hard decisions. But it's like like basically killing in the right way. Like there's a certain cowardice to the way he acts.
Yeah.
Versus like what he just displays as he's like wants to see himself as this really good guy who does all the right things. Versus like Leith is more honest. At least, it seems like. Even when he does kill those other guys at the end, he's like more direct about it, you know.
Yeah.
Like this is just war kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I really love. Like another thing I especially loved about this movie is just like, especially at the beginning of the movie, you notice how white the movie is. Like there's no contrast.
Yes.
Yeah. No shadows. And like. Especially like even when he's filming in the desert and stuff, it's like really really bright stuff. Even at night, the night scenes are bright. Yes. But then throughout the movie, it gets a little darker and darker, and you start to see more shadows. Because I remember, I think it's because I didn't rewatch it, but I had in my notes when I did watch it of Jim Jarmusch talking about Nicholas Ray on YouTube, and I think he pointed out the same kind of thing of like how throughout the movie you notice how bright the movie is at the beginning, and then as like the kind of environment exposes the characters, you start to get more shadows and darkness throughout, and it's like very very noticeable.
Okay, yeah.
Like even how the opening kind of like the dummies with all the dummies and stuff it's very bright at the beginning. And if you notice at the ending scene, the same kind of environment. Okay. There's like more shadows and stuff. Yeah. I will say it does have the like kind of. At least she's not in that much, but the woman. Both these movies do, but they're barely in it.
No, it's so funny. Like they're like in like 2 scenes maybe. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I like the romance in this one. The other one, it's like barely in it. I don't know. Well, I especially mainly because I like the scene at the beginning. I love the scene of them talking. Okay. Because I'll talk about like the ways like editing it and just like the dynamics in that scene, the unspoken dynamics. I really like. I don't know. I don't know why. I didn't realize you didn't like it though.
It's more just like it's just there to kind of enhance those two guys really.
Just put them up close to each other.
Yeah.
I mean that's the reason it's in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah. So yeah, Bitter Victory. I do love this movie, especially on rewatch. I kind of loved especially noticing. I think it's. I'm gonna bring up. I have to bring up the Godard review because this is one of his most famous reviews, and he talks about it a lot. Kind of the idea of I mean, it's a thing we talk about with Ray in general, but especially it's apparent in this movie. The idea of almost filming the objects between the lines instead of the lines themselves. I have a quote here from Godard. It is in the sense that Bitter Victory is an abnormal film, One is no longer interested in objects, but in what lies between the objects and becomes an object in its turn. Nicholas Ray forces us to consider as real something one did not even consider as real, something one did not consider at all. Bitter victory is rather like one of those drawings in which children are asked to find the hunter, and in which at first seem to be meaningless massive lines. Like I really like that. Like especially in that one scene of them three talking, like you can just like tell like just the way he films like the like just pauses on all their like eyes and kind of just like and just all like you can just feel through like their stares like what's actually going underneath even though they're saying something different. It's something I always love about this movie and about Ray in general throughout all his movies, but especially shown here. I love I love his first line in this review too. Well, it's not as technically because the first line is actually in the cinema's Nicholas Ray in this review, but he also says, "Why does one remain unmoved by stills from bitter victory when one knows that is the most beautiful of films? Because they express nothing." It's great. It's a great review. There's a lot of good stuff too that I highly recommend reading. But yeah, like, see, that's probably like the element I love about it the most. But like, there's also a very interesting as we kind of talk about like the ideas are very interesting as well. Like Blake kind of mentioned it with like the idea of like these two guys being thrown in this like in this wartime environment, and it not really being like an anti-war film too. It's like more about like anyway, just like being a man, human nature. Like actually, I have a quote from the book I'm reading where the author talks about it. Like he says, in Bitter Victory, however, the trappings of war itself are hardly seen. They function primarily as a metaphorical backdrop, a context in which Ray can explore his abiding themes of anguish, alienation, confusion, and violence. First and foremost, the film is an almost abstract study of conflict, not between Britons and Germans, but between two men whose quest for happiness and meaning in life has led them along somewhat different paths. For Ray, war is simply a crucible in which the masked men donned to conceal their true selves fall away, just as the cortisone in Bigger Than Life exposed Ed Avery's Latin megalomania and paranoia. And for that reason, the desert in Bitter Victory, its blistering heat, blinding light, burning sand, and howling storms, serves as a central character, stripping away from the protagonist their thin veneer of civilized behavior to reveal the frayed, raw nerves that lie beneath. At the same time, its massive, timeless impassivity dwarfs and throws into perspective the petty human rivalries to which it bears mute witness. And I really like that, especially the callback to Bigger Than Life, because we really talked about it. Like I think you brought it up, like the cortisone is almost like it's almost showing his true feelings about like this suburban lifestyle.
Like without the filter.
Yes. So it's like it makes sense in comparison to this film where like war is just like I mean, there's a lot of films like remember you said like Past the Glory you compared this film, but also stuff like I would say like Thin Red Line maybe.
Yes.
Especially with like the one officer who like never seen action like going into war. Like, war is just like
him and Stavros is like a very
yeah.
It's like a similar kind of dynamic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Stavros. No?
Stavros is he the?
That's like the guy. He's like basically kind of telling his men to go into the battle. And
the ones on the phone.
Yeah, the ones on the phone.
Yeah.
It's like, it reminds me of these two.
Yeah.
The Red Line.
Like it's a similar idea, I would say. It really makes this film very interesting, but also just like. Another thing too, just like all the scenarios in this film are very interesting. I think you brought up some time ago when you first watched this film, like every scenario is like a philosophical situation.
It seems like it,
like
kind of a
like it's very interesting dynamic, like stuff with the scorpion or like the stuff with the killing the men who are wounded. You know, well, I mean, we'll definitely bring it up as we go.
Drinking the poisoned water.
Yeah.
It's
like,
or not poisoned water.
Or why he drinks the poison water.
Why he drinks it.
Like he leaves it all kind of open to like.
Yeah, for sure.
Based on how you read these characters and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. Is there anything else before we get into it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a great film, but yeah, we can go ahead and get into it. So yeah, the film starts at the, I guess they're kind of like station or whatever you want to call it, where basically we have the opening shot, of course, of the dummies, the training dummies, which, as you said, kind of come back. But yeah, basically we see, I think he mentioned this before, like, we have, I'm going to get their names mixed up. Who's the direct officer one? Is that Leith or Brand?
No, Brand is the officer.
Brand's the
Leith is the good. He's the one that knows what's going on, basically, or he's the not the coward.
Okay, so Leith is the one that initially gets called into like asking if he wants to do this because like he's never seen action before and he's like he accepts it.
That's
No, the Brand.
Oh, okay, it's a Brand. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
See, I'm already mixing them up.
Leith is not the coward.
Leith is not the coward. Okay, yeah, I got completely misunderstood you there. Brand gets who's never been in a conflict before gets basically called into this mission, which is very dangerous apparently. Which we also have Leith, who also gets kind of like pulled into this, and I think doesn't who's the one that like I think it's who's the first one that hints at the dynamic between the two. I forgot who it was. It's like so I think like someone knows about it, or maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it was like the I think one of the officers next to one of them questions it, and then the guy who assigns them is like, oh no, but Brand will have more authority over the mission, like it'll be fine, like because there's still like because obviously the dynamic between those two is like they kind of both know this woman. Basically, Brand's wife had a thing with Leith back in the day, or like a few years ago, and it could come into some conflict, which obviously it does. But then we get basically after they both kind of get like briefed about it. Like we go to like this bar where like we get like the one like drunk army guy like doing like the
Imitating everything.
Yeah, imitating everything. That's like with the great sound and like his hands or whatever. Like there's a lot of classic Ray, but like
honestly, Godard must have stolen that for like Pierre LeFou when we like he cuts to
that's
those,
actually
like,
a very good point.
The cuts of like the sounds in the hands, the battle scene.
Damn.
Do you remember that?
No.
And Pierre LeFou when they're like,
I feel like that's in
the
multiple
Vietnam.
films. Yeah,
he must do it in multiple films.
So I feel like they do that in like La Chinois too, or something like that, or like just a lot of them. Yeah, damn. I guess the war element, I guess of this he could have also because I guess maybe that's just like I don't know, filming something is like the war is almost as a backdrop to, I guess like people, but I don't know. Maybe that was just more influenced by like the Algerian War, I guess. But anyway, but yeah, basically then we get this kind of the scene I was talking about earlier with like them three at the table talking, kind of like almost like as I said before, like they're talking about one thing, but you can tell like just like the unspoken stuff is like kind of more prominent, you could say. I love he's like I think he says he's like asked about like how long they've known each other, or it's like your husband hasn't spoken a word about you, and then I think okay, I forgot how he said, but it's he says we all have short memories nowadays, and then like he's like maybe it's for the best. I forgot exactly how that comes up. Do you have the dialogue written down? I don't know, but like
yeah, I have it like does he say, I wonder why people have short memories?
Leaf does.
Oh, yeah,
or maybe...
Yeah, do they forget what they want to forget,
Yeah,
or
okay.
don't they care? I kind of forget the context of like...
It's a bit of a... It's not really structured conversation. It's kind of all three of them. Kind of like... But he does say like... he says, I wonder why people have short memories, and then I think like he's like careless talk costs lives, so does careless silence, and he's like, well, this isn't top secret. He's like, and then he starts saying like I cared once, like it happened before the war, like obviously talking about her, but obviously like you can't tell if like Leith knows or not. I mean, it's sort of he kind of like sees some hints at it, like when she calls him Jimmy or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so interesting. Like the dynamics of the scene, especially.
And she's always looking at him. So.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. Her eyes are always looking for Leith and not Brand. So.
That's why Brand is like immediately
Yes.
jealous and stuff.
Yes. And like he like leaves the table like No, it's definitely the scene is definitely proof why I like love triangles are like some of the best like things about movies, really. Because like there's just so many dynamics you can film.
See, to me, this one just feels a little forced because it's like she's not really an element. It's just like to kind of enhance their like future dilemma they're gonna have.
I can see maybe the.
It's not really a electron. It's like that's why she feels kind of just like a object.
I don't know.
Especially like it's never really.
I wouldn't use that terminology.
Like, why does she even fall in love with Brand in the first place? Then after.
Why did she fall in love with Bran?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's just left open. I don't know. Like,
I don't know. It's like the one thing I can't.
It's not like Nicholas Ray ever like. I feel like he doesn't really ever. Like,
I mean, it's a classic Bible parable. It's the David and Bathsheba story. Basically, would you like? It's basically would you kill this guy inadvertently just to get his wife, basically, or just to get the person he loved? Do you not remember that?
But they're
story?
married though already.
No, yeah, in that story they are.
Yeah, that's
this one. This one is obviously different a little bit, but it's the same type
more
of thing.
Jealous. So yeah, like
this murder, like the feelings you have over jealousy, and would you actually kill someone for them?
Yes.
yeah,
even if you deny it to yourself that that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I still like it's left open more than anything. But I don't know. That's just how I see it. And like then like she talks to him like, why'd you have to like run away? And he's like, because I was afraid of you, which is kind of what I was saying about like in a way, yeah, this is kind of like his like he had like a passive cowardice, but like you could say that maybe he got over it or like something like that. But yeah, then they're like dancing, and then like a Leith comes in, like kind of like
Bran comes in.
Or Bran. The older guy.
Yeah, the older guy.
The older guy goes, Bran comes in, like, and then, like, Leith leaves. And then, like, Bran talks to her, and it's basically, like, kind of like, he's like, yeah, like, he's, like, kind of mad at her, and then
he's treating her like an object.
I guess, yeah, kind of, yeah. But, and yeah, he's like, she's like, I was only being polite, and then she, like, calls him Jimmy. He's like, oh, wait, how do you know he's called Jimmy? Like, it's so funny.
No, because he even points out, he's like, polite, you call that polite? You never took your eyes off him.
Yeah. I mean, he's a beautiful man. I mean, what? Can't.
I also like, because he said, you didn't dance with me, and she was like, you didn't ask. He's like, you never gave me a chance.
Yeah, damn.
That's why I'm like, it's a little more interesting in Love Triangle when it's like, she's actually debating both guys or whatever, and like, she's actually her own person, where this one's like, it's clearly just to give the tension of, Leith is like the good guy, even though he's like the kind of rebel. Like he's even a volunteer. I think they even mentioned in the beginning. Versus Bran is like the kind of he's like the leader of the men and stuff, but he's not like intellectual like Leith and stuff. I don't know. Like comparing to other love triangles we've done, like she seems way more just like kind of to enhance their kind of dynamic they're gonna have throughout the movie. But because, like, she's not even in the movie till the very end, too.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. But, I mean, but her presence
and she seems way more, like...
her presence
she seems way more disappointed with, like, Jimmy being dead than, like, her husband being back.
I mean, it's kind of...
Yeah, definitely.
And, like, I love how... and this could just imply, like, she knows what kind of guy Brand is, but then you have to kind of put that in the movie, too. Like, she's really not even a character, but...
Oh, when she asked him, like, were you responsible? Or, like,
yeah.
Okay,
she, like, immediately just, like, kind of suspects it. Like, oh, were you? Instead of being like, oh, I believe you. Like, she's me like, oh, was it you, though?
Was it? You up to something?
The men think I did this.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, exactly. That's her first response. It's not like, oh, why? Or, like, what happened?
Yeah.
She's like, what? I mean, it was it?
Damn.
So maybe you could say that's, like, the kind of guy he is, like, deep down, but that's what the whole movie is saying, but
okay.
I don't know, she's
But is he a changed man at the end?
Because
he kind of seems to be almost.
I don't know. That's another good question, because he does, like, it's cynical in terms of, like, the army gives him the award.
He's not like happy about it, so.
I mean, we're about to get there, but just a few more minutes, and we think this whole movie. But.
Yeah, of course. Classic.
No, I'm saying that because she's only in the beginning and the very end.
I guess
it's meant to kind of compare them to, in a way. Especially they take place in the same kind of scenes, the same setting.
I can see that, yeah. Then then they get like their brief. They're both briefing together. The guy's like, "Man, I've decided you're both indispensable." Like, and like Bran is gonna be in command. And it was like he also says, "We don't expect you to do anything inhuman, of course." It's like it's like hinting that it's like free reign for them at this point. British Army, at least, I feel like. See, I guess this is the British Army, huh?
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Because obviously Ray's American. But I guess that kind of like makes it have the desert setting, because I guess that's what the British mainly were up to during World War II, right?
Yeah, they were a big presence in Africa.
Yeah.
I think this is actually in Egypt, because I think they're in Cairo right now.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's where their headquarters are.
Or Libya, or is Libya in? I know they go to Libya, right, at some point.
They might go to Libya. I'm pretty good, yeah.
Libya's a country, right?
Yeah, Libya's a country.
My bad. I don't know African countries very well. I'm sorry.
I will say the details of that aren't very important.
No,
in this
they're not.
movie.
Oh yeah. It's like
not a historical movie like that.
No, definitely not. Then they get like the briefing of like their kind of mission. They have like the model of the city.
I love movies with a good miniatures.
Of course.
Before a high scene or a battle scene or something like that.
Oh yeah, those are so cool. I swear. What's like your favorite one though? Do you have like a favorite one?
Wait, do you have one? I don't know.
I don't know. Is there? This one. No. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. Transformers probably. Michael Bay probably has one.
Is there? I don't know.
I swear he probably has one, but
Not in Transformers though. Surely.
yeah. Okay, and then I think and then I guess Lee says goodbye to the girl.
I love how she like this guy she hasn't seen like 5 years gets like romantic goodbye scene with her and
not Brand. Yeah, that's not funny. Yeah, damn. I didn't even think about that.
But this kind of shows like he has like a good conversation where he's like, you can learn things from stones.
Okay, yeah.
That's
But you always seem to prefer stones to people.
Yeah,
you learn things from stones. Like all that people have forgotten in the centuries. And she's like, I seem to remember that I was less than a stone to you. I was like, yeah. That's brutal. Yeah. And then, I think and it shows them basically like they're going. This is basically they're now in like the mission now, which they go to this like city, and they're in like they're first of all disguised as like the native people there.
Mm-hmm.
We see them kind of like stealthily going past everyone, and I guess we get the like one of the first signs of like how much of a cow. Oh, I guess we've already seen signs, but in terms of the mission, the first example of Bran being a coward, when they're like having to like they have to sneak up and kill this guy, and like Bran is like super nervous, like is like hesitating a lot.
There are some instances in this movie where I would call him a coward more so, but this I do agree with you that showing him as a coward in air quotes, but it's with Brand especially. He's right, like Ray's riding a fine line of like what's the difference between a coward and just being a normal human almost.
Okay, yeah.
Especially in war because like he's never killed someone before,
and
so that's really hard. I mean, I wouldn't know. Obviously, I've never killed anyone, but like if you've never killed someone, that's obviously really hard to do. So, and he's never done it before. So, and this scene is like, he's being a coward kind of, but at the same time, it's just like. He's also just scared because he's never taken a life before. He's never like permanently killed someone. Like, I don't know. He's running a fine line a lot of these scenes because like there are like certain scenes of greater cowardice because he's using his authority in the military to basically like try to hide the fact that he's being a coward and basically ordering people to be killed. This one I don't think is one of them though. Like it's for the mission, so he's technically being a coward, but it's also I think this is one of the more human moments. Like he's just scared. He doesn't want to kill someone. So, but I don't know.
Well, to me, he's not he's actually like you're saying, he's not a coward in the scene necessarily. Because we kind of skipped over it, but Lee tells like the wife in one point where he says something like we're all cowards in some things, but like what makes him a coward is actually not the situation. it's how he handles the situation after to me.
Yeah,
And that's basically what
true,
the rest of the movie is like. Because even right after he's like, "Oh, I wasn't afraid."
Yeah.
You know, it's like stuff like
he
that,
denies
or
it.
like how he's trying to hide it, which is
Yeah.
basically the rest of the movie. You know, and that's where he's like he's not willing to kill for this mission, but he's willing to kill to hide the fact that
That he wasn't willing to kill.
And yeah, exactly. And he even points that out later on. I'll read the exact quote later, where he's like, "You're not the type of man that would kill for your wife, but you would kill to hide the fact that you're a coward from your wife," or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is like
I know
great.
what you're talking about. It's amazing.
Yeah, but it's like that's kind of what this whole movie is.
Okay.
It's like that's why I was saying coward versus like courage in a way.
Yeah.
Or at least it's just more honest. Like this is what war is.
Yeah.
You know, you have to kill like people with families. You know. Yeah, and you have to do it just like without thinking about it.
Yeah. But then then they.
But you could argue like that's like not human too, you know. Like he's not saying that necessarily. He's like that's why it's weird to say Leith is a good guy.
No, yeah.
And it's more like he's just more honest, or like I guess in this kind of setting he's more couragely. That's why I think it's important that he's like a volunteer.
Yeah.
He's kind of accepted this kind of person who he is. I think.
Then they break into the. I guess was this like an embassy or something?
I guess so.
It's
Yeah,
like a German headquarters.
Yeah, some type of headquarters. Yeah, and because I guess there is a picture of Adolf Hitler that kind of falls to the ground.
I think one of them knocks him over actually.
Yeah, it's something like that. And then we get. I think this is like we get kind of introduced. We might have seen him before, in like short spurts, but we see the maybe one of Ray's best side characters, the lockpicking guy.
Clock-picking guy.
I love this guy so much.
Oh, yeah.
He's like he's like clicking the log. And he's like
He's like you can't rush it.
he's like skilled labor. It's like I'm not charging you overtime. And just the way he's saying it, like his face is so funny.
No, this guy is hilarious.
Oh my god, it's unforgettable. God. Then then it's just like
Like we already missed like one point where like Brand is already not willing to take responsibility because like they hear the explosion
okay,
and Brand is like because the guy who does the explosion
yeah.
Barney's like Barton, oh, he's early, and then Leith is like, no, we're late.
Okay,
Not like basically implying that because he took so long killing this guy and then he had to come in and do it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, everything else is behind, but he doesn't want to accept it. You know.
Yeah.
There's like little moments like that. That's why like Nicolas Cage you have to watch because like even just like little eye sights and stuff.
Yes.
Can like tell you so much how they see the men,
Yeah.
like or how the men see him and stuff. Like I noticed at the very end of the movie when he's like getting the award, how none of the men like
Oh yeah.
are even looking or even celebrating and stuff. It's like kind of awkward.
Well, yeah, I think that's what Godard was saying, like filming the objects between. The
Yeah,
lines.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. There are moments like that
Like,
throughout the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to get like what's going on between the words and
yes,
necessarily, you know.
yes, for sure. And then I guess this kind of whole scene, by the way, is like more like an action scene. That's really interesting. Action heist scene. Because then they have to like break out and stuff. And the German officers like arrive, but like they've already left pretty much and like escaping into the desert. And then they're like hiding in like a crater thing in the desert, I guess somewhere in the desert, like amongst like these rocks or whatever. Cause they're like trying to like avoid like German patrol looking for him. Then I think then Bran asks Leith why'd you take over the Sentry? He's like why'd you take over with the Sentry? Like he's like I've been wondering when you'd ask me that. And
he's like worried about if he's gonna tell headquarters if he failed or not.
Yes, yeah.
And he's like, what happened tonight has something to do with me. That's between you and you.
Yes.
Tells the Bran.
He's like, yeah, are you assuming that I was afraid? He's like, well, I wasn't. Stout fellow.
No, yeah, because it's funny. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Leith is the one who says he was afraid.
Yeah.
And he's the one that actually killed, and Bran wasn't like he was afraid to kill, and he said he wasn't afraid.
Well, it's the big difference is they just like one accepts it, the other one doesn't. So
yeah, one accepts like the.
And whenever Leith says he was afraid, the look on Bran's face is amazing because he was just like, oh shit.
Oh man, this guy's more qualified. But some great shots of the sand and like the explosion because they start getting like bombed and stuff. Which I guess it creates like you could say the first kind of like scenario, like big scenario. I mean, not the first, but like first one I think of. I think because like because they have all these like wounded men basically, and Bran of course signs Leith to stay and look after them while they go. Are they have to go? They're going looking for the camels, probably, right? I forgot exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, basically because he so basically he of course assigns Brand or Leith. He assigns Leith to stay with him.
His first like attempt at now he's willing to kill basically.
Yes. But since like kill but like not be there for it, like almost like being away from
killing Danny. He expected him to drag all 3 of those men to safety.
Yeah. Like,
this is where like the men are already kind of suspicious,
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And then because then like we see like shots of like Leith waiting, and he like sees the German soldier who's like struggling.
Yeah, there's like these like we should mention how like drawn out some of these scenes feel.
Yeah.
Like it makes you really feel the desert and like
for
the
sure
kind of dryness.
Yeah.
Especially with how white I've been pointing out. Like,
yes.
Especially with the desert feels so bright.
It almost looks like snow in a way.
It's crazy. It does. It kind of feels like that in a way. Yeah. That's why you gotta watch The Savage Innocence.
I definitely watched that.
Damn, it's a gorgeous movie.
Did you say it's like racist though?
I don't know.
That's what you told me. You're like, it's like really racist, but you need to watch it.
I didn't say that.
I
don't think I said it was really racist. Maybe there's some racist moments. No, but this one, like the scene, like where he's like, you hear all these like people just like moaning because he has to wait for them to die, basically.
Damn, yeah.
Or he's saving them, I guess. But no, he already knows they're basically gonna die.
Oh yeah, there's no shot. And then like the German officers like tells him to kill him, and it's like giving the scenario like okay.
Well, there's actually a scene before that where we cut to the other men walking, and the 2 men in the background. There's like 2 just soldiers walking, and they're like, I don't get waiting for Leith. And the other guy's like, maybe he's trying to lose them. Talking about Brand.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's where they're already suspecting like.
Yeah, because he's not stopping for anything basically either.
Exactly.
Like Brand's not letting the men rest at all, which will, I mean, that's going to come to a head soon. But
yes. And I mean, basically, the German soldiers like wants him to kill him. It's like, okay, would you, even if the person like wants you to kill them, would you kill the person? Or would you kill the person to end their suffering, basically? And if they specifically want you to end their life.
But the German soldier didn't want him to kill him though.
Didn't he? I thought he said like.
No, he said help me.
But I thought that's what kind of was insinuating.
I don't think so.
He says like don't drag things out too.
That's what the other guy said.
That's what the next guy
okay.
said.
It's like
because there's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. Like
it looks
the fatter
like this first guy wants to be.
The fatter guy wants to be saved and he wants to be alive. He's like showing him the picture of his family and everything.
He's like, we were so happy for the war.
Okay, yeah.
But then Leith just like hits the picture, gets mad at him, and then shoots him. And then the next guy's just like, hurry up, just do it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I respect your bravery. Something like that.
And this is just like divine providence, kind of, I guess, because his gun misfires.
Well, we think it could be, because this guy ends up just dying anyway.
No, yeah.
But he's out of bullets, actually.
That's divine providence.
He's out of bullets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the thing. No, because he's out of bullets, and then, it's kind of a crazy scene, because he starts crying, the guy starts crying. And,
yeah. And then he's like, Leith's like, I gotta carry him now.
Yeah, he's gonna carry him. You think he's gonna be heroic and stuff, and this guy ends up dying too.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't barely cares him anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
the music's also super interesting too, because like it plays like classical heroic music almost.
But
it's like he's not really. He's just
like,
trying to kill this guy. It's just because he was out of bullets,
Yeah.
Now he's like saving him, but he doesn't end up saving him anyway.
Yeah. I think it's like when he dies, he says like, "I kill the living and I save the dead."
That's such a great line.
It is.
Because he starts laughing too. Because another guy, because the guy that local that ends up helping him, he's like, "It is written for everyone to die. It makes no difference." And then Ray said, and then
except for that little matter of when and for what.
Yeah.
And then then we go back to Bran and the men, who have like it's like they're all tired, and then the lockpicking guy. Well, Bran wants to go. Bran's like, no, we gotta go on. We gotta get to the camels. And then like the lockpicking guy starts instigating like crazy. When he's like doing like this little piggy like
I just love it whenever he's like this foot, like he just held his foot out and says, "I'm tired," and then his other foot says, "Me too."
Yeah. He's like, "It's not me, sir. It's him."
It's not me, sir. It's him.
Like damn. and then he starts like going crazy, like, and it's like, he's like taunting him about his wife, basically.
Was this guy Leaf's friend? Or Leaf's friend?
I couldn't tell.
Because it definitely feels like he is... Like he knows
definitely
the
knows
past,
something.
or Leaf's past more so, because he's definitely feels more like friends with Leaf, and that's why he's antagonizing Brand a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Also,
at least,
he is also the type of guy just to start shit. At least I feel like. But yeah.
Oh no, that's true.
But yeah, that's definitely probably.
Well, he's also he's the no man left behind guy too.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't have left him. So.
Well, the fact that he like literally says his wife by name, like his like and like Aunt Jimmy, he's like taunting him like that. Like he has to know something, for sure. And then like they, I think then they like go to like where the camels were supposed to be, and discover that they're all gone basically because like, someone took them. I guess the Germans took them basically.
You don't really know.
Yeah.
You just see those two horsemen.
Yeah. I was like, because then they died pretty much, or like there were some people that died, I think.
Yeah, there were some people that died, or some dead people.
And then also, and then at this moment too, like Leaf comes back and he's like, and he says like, I guess like Brandon's like mad at him for like abandoning like the mission or whatever, but then like he's like, well, what was I supposed to do? Like,
this is whenever he's basically just saying like, you wanted me to kill them, essentially.
Yeah.
And Brand's like, no, I didn't want you to kill them. You were supposed to save them. And he's like, one man to save three.
yeah.
You wanted me dead too.
Damn, yeah. Damn. And then, I think, like, they find one camel, and then we get
the local finds the one camel.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
This guy's like a MacGuffin. Like, just anything they need. This guy has it. What's his name?
I forgot his name.
Mothrin?
Something like that.
It's like, I don't know. It's something like that.
I like his fit though, like the robe thing.
Oh no,
It's kind of fire. And then they get to the watering, this like well. Because they have a German officer.
They do have a German officer with them.
And like basically like because I forgot I think it's the lockpick guys, like it may be poisoned. So like we should or was it
the local basically says
the local says it? Okay.
Yeah, they should stop because the Germans might.
Yeah, the German trick to poison wells.
Yeah. And the officer's like, no, we don't poison wells. We don't do that anymore. Like
we don't do that anymore.
That's the old us, you know. And I love like the line too, like where like I forgot who said, but it's like suddenly no one's thirsty anymore.
Mm-hmm. That's
like,
Brand,
yeah.
Because then they just hold it up to him, and then he hesitates too before taking the drink, and then this is
so
one of the questions.
Why is he willing to do it then?
I mean, if you listen to Leaf, it's because he was trying to impress the German guy.
Yeah. He's
trying to look like a leader in front of the Germans.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Because images are important.
Yeah.
To officers.
And like then of course we get the staring battle between the two, and then like, he's like, then Brand's like, would you be happier if the poison were burning out my guts? Like,
well, whenever he takes the drink too, like the German officer laughs, like
yeah,
like it obviously like the water obviously wasn't poisoned, I guess, but I don't know.
Maybe like he sees through the facade. You think maybe?
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, it's up to your interpretation. I feel like, but I guess because then like obviously like it's like. Were you just trying to seem like a hero in front of the officer, in front of the German? Kind of just like throwing doubt onto it. So then, and then we get a scene of them talking. The great line here of like them talking, and he's like, Brand, you're wonderful. You have the Christian decency that forbids killing a dying man, but approves the work of a sharpshooter. Well, war is killing. Better and better. So the fine line between war and murder is distance. Anyone can kill in a distance with the same sort of courage that a man shoots rabbits. But when it comes to the dirty work, you have to call in the civilian. What are you trying to say? That I despise you for the professional coward that you are.
No, he keeps going to. You left me in the desert so there wouldn't be any real witnesses. Therefore, my death becomes essential to you. I'm a kind of mirror of your own weakness, and it's unbearable, isn't it?
Yes.
And he's like, are you trying to goad me into killing you? And he's like, perhaps.
Yeah.
And he's like, why? He's like, perhaps because I don't have the courage to do it myself.
Yeah.
But basically this idea of like, every time he looks at Leith now, he's like seeing his own weakness, like the kind of truth to who he actually is. Because especially like Blake said with the officers, they have to have this kind of image.
Yeah.
So every time he sees this one Leith, he doesn't see like he sees the truth of himself. Maybe
Yeah.
So that's why he wants to kill him.
You just see shame.
Yeah, shame.
Yeah. And then we get to basically the scorpion scene, which is a very memorable part of the movie because they like stop in the desert to like rest for a second, and basically as like Leith is kind of like laid out, not paying attention. Bran sees a scorpion go up his crawling towards him and like going up his leg or whatever. And there's a moment there where obviously Bran, there's maybe a question of could he have done? Do you guys think it's like? Do you think he could have like actually like saved him?
He could have said. He doesn't say anything.
Yeah, he could have. He had a lot of time.
Was it even worth trying though? But I do think like at a certain point like you have to like at least, even if you're not, if it's like maybe too late, like you still have to like do it at least.
Well, I like how long the scene is of the scorpion trying like going up into his leg because it just lets you think about what's going through Bran's head because nothing's said. Like he's just looking, and it's just like you're just thinking what he's thinking in that moment, or at least I was like. Should I yell out and say something, or should I just let what happens basically?
Yeah.
And I think the local is like witnessing all this too, because that's one reason why he kills him also. But
yeah,
that's why I kind of like the when you brought up David Bathory, because I haven't thought about that, like killing someone by just like letting it happen in a war or something.
Yeah.
Just because.
Now I know what that story is. Actually, I do
use your power in that way versus like willing to do it directly and thinking that's some kind of like. Huge difference, morally or something. When it's really not.
Yeah.
Because they've been having those... I think they've been having those discussions walking through the desert, basically just like, this is what war... Like, Leaf's just basically saying this is what war is, and then the other guy's like, no, that's not war, that's murder. And he's like, what's the difference between war and murder?
Yeah, basically. It's like, no, he says war is not murder, it's just war is just killing. Or something.
Yeah, war is just killing.
Like, there's a difference.
Yeah. It's also a similar scene to Atari, where like the two guys like they're like fighting over the girl, and like they one of them sees the crocodile going up towards the other one, and then like the other guy like he actually in that Atari like the guy's like warns him about it just in time. He could have just very well let the crocodile kill him. So it's like a counterpoint to this movie.
Okay.
But yeah. Basically then like they're like trying to suck the venom out and stuff, but like.
Well, this is another thing like. The local is the one that's doing all this.
Yeah.
And he's kind of looking at Bran like, and all the men are kind of looking at Bran like, this is what Bran should have done whenever this happened.
Yeah.
Like it's the officer's duty to try and protect his men or try to do something for them, and he just stands there.
Yeah.
He's literally just standing there watching everything.
Yes. Damn.
Because the eyes of all the men are definitely very judgmental on Bran from this point on. They've already been pretty judgmental.
Everyone's eyes are judgmental in this movie.
Oh well, yes, 100%.
But yeah, no, for sure. And yeah, of course we get like as you kind of said, like the guy that locals like wakes up Bran in the middle of the night to kill him.
Yeah.
And then like Bran shoots him. And it's like, oh, he tried to kill me, But I mean, yeah, you guess, but like there's some it's a muddy line there, But yeah, and then we get like basically like Leith is getting pretty bad. And I think, then, like...
Bran even reads his orders to someone about, like, leaving Leith, like...
Yeah.
You must not be captured by the enemy. If it endangers your mission, you are not obliged to save the wounded.
Yeah.
That's that young officer that's trying to, he's basically just saying, like, I'll carry him.
Yeah.
And then the younger soldier also eventually says, just leave me here with him. Like, because... Bran's plan is ridiculous because he's just like leave Leith half the water and a gun.
Yeah.
And then the young soldier's like, what, half of our water and a gun so he can shoot himself whenever he's all out of water.
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn.
Yeah, and like of course like Leith is like taunting him in a way. He's like, I wonder if you have the courage to finish me off now.
Does he? The squall comes.
Yeah.
Does he finish him? Or does the squall do it?
Yeah,
because Leith saves him. Yeah,
where I was saying, where he's like, "You're not the sort of man to kill for his woman, but you'd murder to stop her from finding out you're a coward, wouldn't you?" Bran, the returning hero, the stuffed dummy with a medal on his chest, and all the witnesses dead. Because I love that line, the stuff metal in the chest, because that's basically the last shot of the movie, too.
It is.
Yeah.
They're literally around all the dummies. I didn't even realize that until you said that.
Yeah, damn.
He's like, you're not a man, Brand, you're an empty uniform. Starched by authority so that it can stand up by itself.
Damn.
That's pretty funny, too.
And then Brand's like, I'm still standing. And Leith's like, yes, you are.
He's a creative shit talker.
He is.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, and then like the sandstorm comes, and then like Leith is dead.
I mean, the sandstorm comes and Leith saves Brand.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is the whole thing of like Leith is more at least heroic in a certain sense, than Brand. Like Brand would have done that, obviously, we know.
Yeah.
Because even like I was like, I contradict myself. I always contradict myself.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
But that's like basically before he dies.
Yeah.
But this is like the human, basically. Like the human versus the officer or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Or the human side of war, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And like
It's risking yourself to save your fellow soldier at the very least.
Yes.
But
And
But then, the soldiers, like, to their point of view, it could, like, he could have easily just killed Leith.
Yeah,
during the sandstorm. It would have been so easy, but
honestly,
and in reality, that he killed him anyway. So, but
it was a long process, but he got there.
But this is like, did Leith's death change Brand? Because I think that's the big question.
Yeah,
it's because
definitely,
Brand definitely does not feel okay with anything happening after the award, like during the award ceremony or after anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it feels like he's changed.
Maybe,
or is at least thinking.
But who knows if he like is willing to make the change though, or
True.
is willing to accept it,
or if he's just done with the military.
Yeah,
because I can see that.
But yeah, is he like who's the guy in Lusty Man? Is he gonna walk away from the rodeo like he did? But I don't know. Damn. And then like of course like the military convoy comes like as soon as the sandstorm's over to pick them up. And like puts out puts out the fire too.
Well, he starts the fire.
Yeah.
And then they put it out.
Yeah, I don't know, like
because like this is another thing. Like makes me think maybe he changed. I don't know, or maybe he's just trying to cover up like his failure again.
Yeah, I don't know.
By not, I don't know, because like they want him to bring these things back, but then Brand starts the fire on the documents, almost like he doesn't.
No,
want
that's
to
not Brand.
Did he not start?
That's the German officer that started.
Oh shit! Okay, I thought Brand started the fire. Damn,
I was confused.
Yeah, I thought Brand started the fire.
No.
That makes way more sense.
I did. Yeah, it's kind of weird how he started. Then like
because Brand, I thought that Brand was just. I thought that Brand that was Brand just sitting there looking at it, but.
Yeah, it's because like they're all kind of ignoring like the real mission, and German's just like over there. Like,
yeah.
But, that makes way more sense.
Damn, yeah. And then I guess we're getting to the end here. We kind of course we already kind of went over this, but yeah, like basically he arrives back. It's like she learns of the news, and like obviously like
her eyes are always looking for Leith.
Looking for Leith in the afterlife.
I mean, they never like whenever he comes back. Like I definitely pay attention to her eyes because that's why I was wanting to watch in this scene. And her eyes are literally like never on him; they're just always looking at all the guys walking out.
Damn, yeah.
It's like hoping to see him.
Yeah, like and then and then obviously she's like asked if he had anything to do with it. He also says like his last words are like Jane, I love you. Should I tell Jane I love you?
Which is not what they were.
Yeah. And then
he's just trying to riz because he was like he did give me last words, but the squall cut out. So this is what it would be. This is what I imagine it would be because it's what I would say. Just like okay, shut the fuck up. Like.
And then he gets like the distinguished honor. There's like the
hero of Benghazi.
Yeah, there's a great shot where she's like hugging like the dummy in a way and like crying at it, like looking at it, and then like walks away from it, like, and then then he like has to live with his.
He looks like an empty uniform in the shot.
Damn, yeah, and places the award on the dummy. Like just like the heart of the dummy, and like walks away, and then that's the end of the movie. Yeah, very, very left open to interpretation, as a lot of Nicholas Ray is. But yeah, that's Bitter Victory. After the break, we will get into Wind Across the Everglades. So stay tuned. To discuss Nicholas Ray's, I would say, very underseen and underrated 1958 film, Wind Across the Everglades, which wasn't even on my radar until I think you, Dan, you brought it up. Deleuze loved this movie. It was like one of the only Nicholas Ray movies he talked about, and it was like this obscure ass like movie he made, but it ended up being like, because we had trouble finding this, I'm pretty sure, for a while until I finally got to download. Because it's like hard to find as well, because obviously it's not like restored, and like obviously, as I said, it's kind of more of an underseen Ray, but it's definitely a great film. But yeah, this film's really interesting because like especially how he films nature in this movie, which is kind of like just like, well, the wildlife, and then also just like it's, as we kind of talked about with Bitter Victory, it's kind of an interesting thing how he's like. How he's kind of like comparing these two men, almost their differences, but also like how they kind of become alike in the end in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know how I read it. It's like, to me, it's more like how like I don't know, just the chaos of nature, but also like kind of like people's like ignorance or maybe like naivety when it comes to nature, like thinking they can like save it or fix it, or but then like. I don't know, just like finding out that like nature's just unforgiving, it doesn't care. But yeah, it's a really interesting movie that I'm interested in talking about. But yeah, I'll ask y'all's like thoughts on it. I'll start with you, Blake.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. I really love the documentary feel to a lot of the nature shots. I know that I think you guys have both mentioned that earlier in the series that was one of the things that you guys liked about this movie too, whenever we were talking about Ray.
Yeah.
But they're amazing because, first off, it's crazy to think this is what Miami looked like in the 50s.
Yeah.
Whenever you consider how it looks now.
Yeah.
Especially whenever there's that one guy that's literally talking to our warden guy about like joining up with him to make progress in Miami, because like obviously that's who the future we'll see wins is that guy trying to make progress, and he denies him because he's like, me and progress don't really mesh or whatever. But no, I really love I love a lot of the stuff about this movie because like their relationship in this is so interesting because it's like the warden is one step away from being a poacher, and the poacher is one step away from like just appreciating nature. Damn. Which is why they like each other so much, because they do like each other. Mm-hmm. Like that's the reason. At least I think he doesn't like obviously kill him. Like they do actually like each other. And I think it comes from a mutual place of like respect, because to live out in the Everglades takes a lot, as we see in this movie. And so any man that can live out in the Everglades, I think you just respect each other. Like if you know that you can both live out there, like you kind of just have mutual respect. And I don't know, I really like their dynamic a lot in this movie. Yeah. He also just the bad guy in air quotes. He is a bad guy, I guess, but
see that's what's great about this movie.
Yeah, but he's really not. I mean he is, but he's got really bad morals. But I also just love how he looks like a legitimate pirate.
Yeah,
like he looks like Blackbeard but with a red beard. So.
No, like their whole like gang is like a gang of pirates basically.
It is, and they even say I think they say that at one point in the movie. Like,
wait, that's Christopher Plummer.
Yeah,
is it? Holy shit!
No, the young guy.
Well, Rock. Yeah, the
warden.
I didn't realize.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
You didn't know about that?
No,
I didn't
thought it
realize
was just
that
some
was
It's
random.
your third time watching.
I was
You
like,
just
this
got
guy's
down
great.
his Christmas
This guy's
plumber.
great.
I thought it was like some random movie actor. This guy's so great.
Oh wow, yeah, he's actually
His
like
smile.
yeah.
Damn, that's so crazy.
He does look different.
Now I can say I know Christopher Plummer's best movie.
Like damn. Wait, what else is he?
Damn, I was like, wait, because he's listed second in the cast right now. I was like, wait, what role does he play?
Yeah.
Because guess who else? What other actor, famous actress in this?
What?
Peter Falk.
Where?
Wait, what?
Who's Peter
Yeah,
Falk?
he's one of the like side guys in Cottonmouth.
He's one of the
Gang.
gangs?
How do you not notice him? He literally
Yeah.
gets close-ups like multiple times.
Which one?
He's like one of the guys that points out the guy that's falling in love with the girl, like when they're on the we have the Cottonmouth's family.
How did I not notice this shit?
Yeah,
Am I fucking blind?
No, he's literally listed in the cast too. You can see it. I noticed it the first time we watched it too. I watched it too.
Damn.
Okay, maybe I was just like not paying attention.
Because we had just done Cassavetes too, I think, recently when I watched.
Okay, yeah.
But
Damn.
it must have been early. Peter Falk. It's 58.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's why I got.
He even gets some like Peter Falk kind of like dialogue and stuff.
I still don't know
I
which
mean-
one he is. So.
Yeah, I'm still like damn.
Let's see if
Like,
I have any pictures.
Is
of
he
my
the one that
students.
puts the toupee on? Like the hairpiece on?
I don't
see that
think
one?
So.
Okay.
I don't know why he would because he's so young.
Oh, he's young. Okay.
Like it's 1958. But,
I don't know. No, but I did really love this movie. It was great. It makes sense why it's underseen because it does like there are definitely some parts in this movie where it looks kind of terrible, just
Right
because of the time. But
that's Peter Falk.
How do you not recognize
That doesn't look like Peter Falk. I don't know why. That doesn't.
What about
look-
this one?
That looks more like Peter Falk, but you can tell why I wouldn't notice it. Right?
I would never notice that.
It's the beard. First of all, it's the beard. He just looks like.
When he's smiling, you can definitely.
I
tell.
guess, yeah, but like I don't know. It's just like
I would never have recognized.
I would,
them.
yeah. I see why I don't. I now feel less.
I'm
bad
surprised
for
you
not-
recognized them.
That's crazy. Yeah.
No, you guys should have been able to recognize. it.
No,
Just-
give us a break. Give us a break.
He recognizes Peter Falk in his least recognizable role, but doesn't recognize Christopher Plummer.
Least
in any
recognizable.
title.
Like you didn't recognize Christopher Plummer either.
I know.
I did. Let's go. I'm better than you guys.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
crazy. No, he is really good in this.
He does look different, I guess, because he's like because all you know Christopher Plummer, I feel like at least like nowadays is like his old version. I don't know why I said it like that, like his old version. Him being old.
Him being old.
I guess like because he's in what Sound of Music too, right?
Really?
That's like his other famous role, right?
I haven't seen some. I mean, it's been actually. I think I have seen Sound of Music, but it was
Like,
required.
it's a lot of
in
people
school.
know him from that. That's like maybe his most famous role, but he's like sort of young in that, I guess. But yeah, yeah. I guess Danny, your thoughts on the movie?
This is one of my favorite Ray movies. Like, I think I've even mentioned. I actually really love Day Bill Live by Night, but I kind of mentioned you mentioned how like great looking it is. And it's like, it's the later Ray movies where I really started thinking about how he films the environment and stuff.
Yeah.
And this might be his best movie in terms of that. Like,
So
I wish we could have restored, but like,
Damn.
especially how he films nature. It's not just like established shots, but they're like a little more than that. They're more like
No, yeah, like the
entrancing shots.
dude, that one moment where like he'll start filming nature.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden it like gets dark because like nature starts like you start seeing like people like the
well, the
animals,
first
like,
entrance.
kissing
There's
each other.
actually a movie that really reminds me of when he first enters the glades. There's like another entry kind of scene that reminds me of. I'm trying to give it away. Yeah.
Oh really? Okay, damn.
Because he's like entering this other world with like these like weird animals.
Yeah.
And just like this. Even Stalker. I mean, Solaris has that kind of vibe too, but definitely Solaris I was thinking of.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess
but-
Stalker's more like nature-like than Solaris. Like, there's a lot more like aspects of like the nature, because obviously it's like the wilderness kind of.
And then you mentioned Deleuze, because I have to read a couple of Deleuze quotes. Like, first in his Cinema One book, he kind of like talks about like Nicholas Ray as part of like the lyrical abstractionists. Like, kind of, I think he talks about Turner like that. But he also then talks about like naturalism. And I don't want to get too deep into like what he means by that, but this when he talks about Wind Across the Everglades, what it first like got on my radar when he says first, quote, "And it's above all the new violence of Wind Across the Everglades which makes this film a masterpiece of naturalism. The originary or original world, the swamp of the Everglades, its luminous greenery, its great white birds, the man of impulses who wants to shoot God right in the face, his band of brothers, the brothers of Cain, bird killers, and the drunkenness response to the hurricane and the thunderstorm. And I kind of talked about this with Buñuel too, but like he basically talks about how like these kind of people are like like driven by impulse. You know, that's why they're like part of a natural world. And that's why I love like both these guys, like especially by the end, they're just like almost like becoming animalistic, like how drunk they get. And like Deleuze even says like their drunkenness responds to the hurricane and the thunderstorm outside, like literally, you know, like they're part of nature like that. And then this movie also reminds me of another like there's this website that has like published all these like Deleuze seminars he gave over the years on different subjects. And there's one he has like the series is called Painting and the Question of Concepts. I've been like I only went through like the first seminar, but one of the things he says, I'll just read the quote exactly because he's I think it'll make sense. He says, quote, what interests us is in this. It's the first time that one finds a theme that, in my view, traverses most of the great painters. The theme of, they never paint but one thing, the start of the world. That's their business. They depict the beginning of the world. Fine, so what is the beginning of the world? It's the world before the world, that is. Something exists. It's not yet the world. It's really the birth of the world. And, like, that this movie thinks, like, I just think of this movie so much, like, as Nicholas Ray as a painter, just, like, even how he describes the Glades, you know, when he's, like, going in, and after he comes out, he's, like, this is like the world, like before the world or something. I forget. He says like the creation of the world or something. I have the quote later on. I'll read exactly. But it's like very obvious. Nicholas Ray is just describing like he sees like these people that live in the Glades as like kind of. I don't know exactly how he sees them, but it's like a different man. What did you say? Freaks.
Free.
Oh, free. Yes, free. They even say that. Like,
I kind of
they're like living as men of protest or something.
Yeah. Yes.
But they're very animalistic too, though. Like they're also not freeing away, you know, because the animals aren't freeing a certain other way.
Well, I think like, that's why
passions and stuff.
That kind of concept is why I think the two main characters relate to each other because they're both kind of opposed to the civilization.
Yes,
the bourgeois civilization, but in different ways.
No, actually, that's another thing I have about this movie is like. They're actually, I think this movie is kind of about, that's why I like the kind of naturalism or the man of impulses that Deleuze talks about, because I think both of these kind of characters are supposed to represent aspects of man in their own way. Like, so like Cottonmouth is supposed to be, like, cause I love the opening scene with the narrator where he's just like hating on the people, where he's like, he says nearly everyone conformed to the fashion, few connected its gaudy demands to the plight of the vanishing bird. And that line, like, few connected the demands up there buying feathers to the actual fact that they're having to kill all these birds. Like, there's there's no thought. But they're both of them are produced by the same society. The fact that people need to save the birds, like people want to have, like, there's that lady where she's like, "Oh, I love what you're doing." Like, I saw you wearing these feathers.
You're like,
she just ignores
people.
it. She just walks away.
She's like, "Oh,
that's it." So like, but the society creates both of these people. You know, people that have to protect the birds, and then people that also have to kill the birds. Of course, they want to ignore both sides. You know, they'll even hire people. They'll hire people to go take this guy down. Yeah. But really, they're not like you said about Nicholas Ray being in between the lines. It's like they're not hiring him to do that. Yeah. They really want the guy that's going to arrest the bad guy to die. Because they actually want the feathers to keep coming. You know. Yeah. But it's like this is like what society does. It has like these two sides to it at the same time. Yes. And it's like that's why it's like almost it was similar in the end. You know, they almost both realized that in a way. And then like that's why it's like so. This is like a true anti-hero to me. Like most anti-hero movies are like bullshit because it's like they're just obviously heroes. Yeah. You know, like Deadpool or something. It's like he's not an anti-hero.
But he cusses.
Yeah, you know, oh, he's so bad or whatever. It's like if your character gets a girlfriend and a wife and like they get a happy ending or whatever, you're not an anti-hero. It's crazy. Like, but like there's a lot of excuses for anti-hero. But this is like a true one because he's actually bad. You know, like that's why Blake's like I don't know if he's a hero because it's like he's a bird killer. You know. Yeah. And
you end up kind of liking him in a way, like.
But that's the thing. That's the whole point. But at the same time, you're like he still has to be and that's the whole like what I called in I think last episode the Darth Vader effect, where you kind of have to kill the guy to end up liking him.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Okay.
There's a lot of movies that do that, but no, I still love this. This is one of my favorite characters in a Ray movie too. This guy.
He's great.
No, he's great.
Yeah.
No, I love especially like the little details about him, like the what's the thing he keeps eating? I forgot exactly what it's called, but he's like, oh, I love this thing in my belly or whatever. I forgot what it's called. It's like some type of plant or something.
I just love Curly Q or whatever his name is. The snake.
Yeah, the snake. Yeah, the snake always being on his shoulder that ends up like basically like being just basically killing him at the end, which is crazy.
That's not the same snake.
It's not the same snake.
It's not the same snake? Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It might be the same type of snake.
No, because Christopher Plummer kills that snake later.
Yeah. Okay, yes, because he throws... Yes, okay.
It might be the same type of snake, but...
Yeah. Well, a snake still kills him, though. Yeah, which is kind of the point. But yeah, great points. I want to also talk about... mention the chaotic nature of the filming of this movie. Because it was kind of a disaster. Because, like, what's crazy is, like... well, first of all, like...
It's impossible to film in the Everglades.
Well, everyone got sick, basically. Ray was, like, going crazy, apparently. Like...
Malaria.
He didn't even... apparently, he didn't even shoot the final scene. It was apparently just, like, whoever was around shot it, basically. And then... I think... The film was Bud Schulberg, the writer, and also he's credited as a co-director. I don't know what that is about. I think mainly because he was like the one who came up with the idea for the film because he was the one who wrote the script. And apparently, like he wanted Ray to film the script like exactly as he wrote it, you know. And apparently, the original cut of the movie, like Ray wanted to be like 3 hours long, and they axed it basically like in half, pretty much.
This is too much nature.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like
cut that shit out.
Yeah. Release the Ray cut. You know, but no.
What if the Ray cut just includes more romance?
That probably is what it probably does. But
hopefully not.
Because there's like 2 scenes of like that romance. It's funny as hell. It was a very peculiar shoot, but it's crazy. Like the film's still great. That comes out of it. Like.
Well, it's always like no one ever shoots in Florida, or very few people do. At least back in this early, because it's just hard.
Let alone the Everglades.
Yeah, let alone the Everglades, which is like one of the harshest places on Earth, actually. Yeah. So. Yeah,
only a madman like a Ray could do it. And I mean, he shoots the fuck out of it too.
He does.
Yeah, you have to give him credit.
It's very. I love whenever Danny brought up the painter point that Deleuze brought up, because like it literally he's taking you back in time to like the primordial age, the forming of the earth. Whenever you're looking at the shit,
it does feel like the beginning of the world.
Damn, yeah. No, yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, I guess we can go ahead and get into the movie. As Danny kind of already mentioned, like. It starts off with this like narration. It's kind of like I don't know how it's like one of those like nature documentaries you see in like a museum in a way. Okay. It's kind of how it feels like to me. Like, oh, it's the new American frontier. Like, and it's so interesting because it's like it shows basically like talks about like as you kind of said like the feather craze that was sweeping the country and like that and like how because it was like in fashion basically to wear feather on people, like people wearing feather hats basically, and then like Miami being like the like a big marketplace for it, being like the end of the railroad basically.
It's very visual too because he's showing you all the people in their feather dresses and feather hats and shit.
He shows like the whole like supply chain process, like from like them poaching it to like them transporting it, and then like them the people selling it to the people, the hats to the people, and then of course then we see the Walt, our main character Walt Murdoch. He walks off the train because originally he's coming here to be a school teacher, which immediately he gets that ripped away because he steals a feather off of Lay's hat, basically. Well, he's looking for the high school principal and then like sees that feather on one of the feathers and like rips it off, basically. And then like he's telling her like, how would you like if this bird wore you for a decoration? Like pointing out how absurd it is to him, and. Then like basically the she tells a guy I think ends up being like one of the people on the school board. Basically, he's a powerful man. Basically,
Yeah.
I think it's the most important part. And then like they like restrain him, trying to like arrest him or whatever. And then like he's like telling him like when Native Americans wear these hats, we call them uncivilized. Kind of just like pointing out like the hypocrisy in it or whatever. And then like I guess he gets like kind of taken away. You're like, well, yeah, because the guy's like, yeah, you're not stepping any more near the school than you are right now. Because like apparently he's like on the school board. And like I feel like this is obviously where you can see like maybe where some of this movie was cut out, because they're like we're gonna lock you up or whatever. They take him away, and then like the next scene he's like not even locked up anymore.
The next scene is just like he's with the other guys.
No. The next scene he's the warden already.
Yeah.
Because one of the people like make an offhand comment like
he'd make a good warden.
He'd make a good warden, and just like he's the warden now. Like
well, the guy says the judge made it's like instead of serving time, they agreed to make you the warden.
Oh, did they say that in the next scene?
Yeah,
okay.
He says that. He's
okay,
like,
I may have missed that. I don't know.
It's kind of like
it is sudden still, but like
because it's kind of implied like we said, like I was saying earlier, the warden's not a good job. You know, it's actually worse in certain times. So ways if you don't like a person or whatever.
Yeah, because we are.
We've learned like 2 people have already been killed in the line of duty or something.
Yeah.
The guy that's talking to him lost his leg.
Yes, yeah, and they're like starting to talk about like the Cottonmouth guy.
Yeah.
Almost like a Colonel Kurtz type of like mythical person, you know, that like lives on the river, you know, in the wilderness. Yeah, I think and then like I think he the warden now is gonna go pretty much to. Well, he's staying with these people basically, who has like obviously is like the girl is also there that like is like his love interest that like as he said shows him in like 2 scenes.
So crazy.
Yeah.
They must cut a lot of this.
No, for sure they cut a lot of this out. That's
right,
crazy.
I can support that.
Dave's like, yeah, my type of speed, you know. But yeah, basically he's going up into the glades basically to. I think he says like to like get the feeling of being in the wilderness, just kind of like see what's up with it. And then yeah, we get like basically him like I think you mentioned this before, like the shots of like the animals shots. Like.
Well, first he's like happy, shows him like smiling as he's like slowly entering, and like the animals are like I think the music is like kind of happy a little bit.
Yeah.
But the animals are like it's like a deer and some geese and stuff. But then it like starts getting menacing.
Yeah,
the animals get darker.
No, I love the
eating shit.
The one where it's like the geese
like,
or the duck like
close up attacking.
Yeah, like attacking
the
camera. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I see like crocodiles eating like animals. Like, damn. And then he like runs into the guy who's like selling water or whatever. He like buys a jug of water from him. And then like the guy's like, how do I know this is not like poisoned or whatever? And he's like, well, I'll just drink it myself. Like, yeah.
And he's like, what you don't drink, you can rub on your arms to kill the skitters. I was like, damn, that's actually crazy though. Like,
yeah,
alcohol you can drink and you can use it as like insect killer.
Was it not water?
I thought it was some kind of alcohol or something.
I thought it was water. I don't know why. Well, the one they drink later is alcohol. Like when they're going back and forth at like the very later scenes.
No, right here.
Is this alcohol? I thought it was water for some reason.
That probably is alcohol.
Because he's like, oh, well, you don't drink, you can rub. Because he starts coughing right immediately after he drinks it too. So it makes sense if it was some kind of alcohol.
Yeah. Okay. Then he tells him to get home before dark. And then the warden's wants to take a picture of this like geese. And then great shot of the cottonmouth like walking into the frame basically.
Because it's like flipped upside down.
Yeah,
the camera lens.
And then this is our introduction to Cottonmouth. Big guy, nice beard, I would say for sure. Basically he's saying like he's like, yeah, I own everything here, you know.
He's like, I was born here.
Yeah, I was born here.
The way he says it, that was so funny.
Yeah. I think I forgot what he like disappears all of a sudden too. When the warden's like I think he's like trying to like show him something or something. He's trying to do something, and then like all of a sudden he like disappears out of frame, like some type of like I don't know, some like mysterious ass character like. and then like the warden like puts up the paper that says like this is like an animal sanctuary, and then cut immediately to it cuts to that immediately to them shooting all the birds or whatever down. It's a crazy scene because like they're like shooting them, but you just see he spent like Nick Ray spends more time filming the animals dropping into the water than them like actually being shot in the sky. It's crazy because there's a lot just like coming down like rain basically from them like shooting them.
Basically showing like these are actual villains. And and
also,
it's gonna make it really hard for you to sympathize with or empathize with.
Yes, for sure. And then like Cottonmouth like
also how helpless Christopher Plummer is just watching. Like,
It's
he's like the warden and can literally do.
Like, how can I do anything here? And then Cottonmouth says like the great line. Them Yankees love the tickling of them feathers, and we like the tickling of their money.
Yeah, it's so good.
Like that.
But there's also what I was saying about how like society is. They're actually aware that society needs them in a way too, because they're buying feathers at the end of the day. You know, they just want to hit hidden.
Yes, for sure. And then Cottonmouth like taunts him, the warden, basically.
He's like, "You've got the badge."
Yeah.
They all like leave without.
Damn.
They're like laughing at him.
Damn. Yeah. And then I guess we go to. We start to see some of like the dynamics of the Cottonmouth gang, because like they're over there, like they're like I guess like their hideout or whatever, and like they're all like dancing or whatever to the music, and then like these two random guys come up, like I guess they want to join, right? Is that what they're wanting to do? But then they're like but like Cottonmouth's like, okay, like sure, but you have to like fight over the rights to like your bunk basically or whatever. And so it shows like their like initiation process. Like they pick out a spot, but they fight the two guys that like live in there. And, like in the mud too, like thick mud, which is crazy. Like we get like I think it's like the first guy like immediately beats up the other guy, like the new rival immediately beats up the old guy, because like it's like a 1v1 and then a 1v1, right?
Yeah.
And then like the second arrival guy is like a big guy against like the smaller guy that like is already there, and so he starts just beating him with a stick, like trying to like go around him. You're initially thinking like, oh shit, he's actually getting him, and then like all it takes is like one punch from the big guy to just like knock the little guy out.
And they're having like bets on all this too.
Oh yeah. Like when he initially goes down. The Cottonmouth was like, I'll take 10-1 that the loser gets up.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy. Like like this is like their entertainment.
He's like, get up, loser! I bet on you.
Yeah, he's like, no, because he gets up and he's like, oh yeah, they always get up when I tell them to.
Yeah.
Like damn. And then, after the guy's like laying in the mud or whatever. Like Cottonmouth like goes over to him and like I'll take him to my bunk or whatever tonight, and like carries him like he's a kid, bro. It's like 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 a little kid.
It is kind of sweet. Like after he was just like really mean to him, this guy's like, because he bet 10-1 on him.
Yeah.
He forces him to get up. He's like, you can stay with me. And he just like gets him on the shoulder.
It's like well, no, he like carries him like the baby.
Carries him.
He does. Yeah. It's crazy.
And then he just like there's like a shot of him walking back.
Yeah. And then Walt gets back to town.
No, I love how he describes how he goes back in. Because he's like, I don't see how anybody who goes that deep into the country can ever forget it.
Yes.
It's as if a river was a prairie, 50 miles across. The grass and the water run together.
Yeah.
Like this kind of world he's describing, where like it's the world, the grass and the water are the same. You know.
Yes.
That's the like intermixing of these two. He's like almost like relating to how like these two kind of people are gonna mix. At the end of the movie, you know, the two opposing sides.
100%. Yeah, he also says the line, "Progress and I have never gone along well."
Yeah, when that guy's like, we can be involved in like building roads in Miami and stuff.
Yeah. And I guess
because actually, this is where he's talking about creation too, because he's like,
okay,
this is where Progress and I have never got along. That's what draws me into the Glades. You see, there's sort of the way the world must have looked on the first day, when it was all water, and then first land beginning to rise out of the sea. You feel the life force in there in its purest, earliest form. And then Cain, the brothers of Cain, raised their 12-gauge shotguns and fired in the face of God. And he's literally talking, he's like comparing like the Glades to the beginning of the world, and like them, like them being like the first evil almost.
Yes.
Because I didn't even mention the rest of that quote about like the painting quote where he's talking about the beginning of the world. Because the next line is like, henceforth, why can painters be Christians? Can the history of creation be of interest to them? Insofar as someone is a painter, it's obvious. It's obvious that they are involved in something that concerns the creation of the world. You understand that each day I should add a coefficient of essentiality to this. I mean, it's essential concern with painting, having us all face this. Basically, having us all face the creation of the world. It's like, that's why some Christians can be interested in painting in a way, you know? At least how Deleuze is reading it this way, like this kind of creation of the world.
Okay.
Because I love that quote, too. That's why I thought of that Deleuze quote.
Yeah.
Especially, like, with film, like, the way you're filming these kind of things, you know? Like, the way he films the entrance into this new world, and, like, the way he's, like, talking about it after he gets out of it and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, like, no, yeah, we can keep going. I'll talk about Paramount later.
Yeah. Okay. And then, I think,
We cuts back to Cottonmouth.
because he's like, the gang is like cooking pigs or whatever. That was crazy. And like, I think the guys start telling him like, oh yeah, the warden, you know, he might be trouble or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, the guy, one of the new guys is like, any guy who's crazy enough to worry about saving birds is crazy enough to make trouble.
Yeah. And then the warden, he doesn't really care that much though.
Also, Cottonmouth has one of my favorite lines in this, where he tells one of the guys his nickname is One Note.
Yeah.
The guy that plays music.
Oh yeah, play me a sad song about kissing and killing.
Yes. That's like a timeless, because it applies to all genre of music.
Yeah. Damn. Like damn, yeah. Any modern rap music, basically.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's not exactly. Like, rap gets hate for it. For some reason.
Yeah. Cause there's no white guy with a guitar, basically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. This is what I'm saying. Literally, this is what he's asking for.
Yeah. And we see like the warden at like this party where he's like very obviously an outcast, I feel like. Because we see one of
he's an outcast but enjoying it.
Yeah, I guess He
doesn't want to be a part of these people.
Yeah, there's like the one we said earlier, like the one lady. Is she the bar owner? Is that what she is, or is she just like a high society?
She's the wife of one of these guys.
I think she's the runner of this place. I think.
Well, she keeps on calling herself like Mrs. something because they're hosting the party.
I think it's Miss Bradford though.
Okay. I thought it was Mrs. Bradford.
No, I'm almost positive they say Miss, because I think she runs that establishment. Of, like that's her those are women and stuff. Because that's why she gets all offended when she's like, on the first floor of my establishment, there'll be no vulgarity or something.
Yeah.
When she sees one of the other women dance, like one of the ladies dancing.
No,
too close.
Yeah, dancing too close. They weren't 6 inches apart.
Yeah. We get like one of Warden's men like asking for bourbon like through the window or whatever, like the window thing. And that's also how he kind of like talks to the warden. Because then of course we have the moment where you said earlier, like when she thanks him for protecting the birds, and he's like, but he's like, he said like, oh no, I've seen you wearing the clothing with the birds on it, and like she says nothing about it. And then the guy the Cottonmouth man that was there he's like trying to buy a burden for the warden. He's trying to scare him off initially, from like going to the Everglades, but then he's like the warden says he needs a guide, so then this guy points to Billy One Arm, who like I guess it's not, you don't know it yet, but it's like you basically know like, okay, they're definitely setting a trap for him.
No, we should know this already because Billy One Arm was also there.
Was he there?
Yeah.
I didn't notice him.
He sends these 3 guys over there. He's like, go.
I didn't know Billy One Arm. I didn't notice.
And that's their plan, is basically to set him up.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why Billy One Arm is like basically betrays Cottonmouth later on.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, he's like the Native
he is part
American.
of their gang. Yeah.
He's like a Native American, like probably the only one, I think.
Yeah. But when we learn why he's part of the Cottonmouth's gang later.
Yeah.
But then so then the warden.
Yeah, they like go on the river basically.
And these are some of my favorite shots in the movie because it's actually a little Rossellini like, where it's probably because like they didn't have like the equipment to film like close-ups while they're on the ship, on the boat and stuff, so all of it's wide shots.
Yeah.
And then you can tell the dialogue's filmed like after.
Yeah.
But to me, it just makes it feel like more like you're just part of the environment too. Like just these voices like kind of talking over the environment as he's like showing these wide shots of them in the boat. As they're talking to each other.
Damn,
I just love them.
There's like also that great moment where like they go past like the Billy's wife, I guess, like on the side of the river, and he's like Like yeah, but like he can't doesn't stop because like
that's what he tells them.
Seminole law like says she can't talk to him again. So I'm assuming it's because like what he does with the.
Well, he says they kicked him out.
Yeah, they kicked him out because of his like affiliation with Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like lots of great shots of like wildlife at night too here.
But this is also probably where a lot of the scene stuff was cut out. I assume, of like why Billy One Arm is so willing to like.
Yeah.
Because he's like willing to die for him, like that's why he like when he switches sides about.
Yeah.
It's easy to buy into though, even without
he's like,
extra stuff.
No, I still kind of buy into it, but he's like, I never met a white man like you. Or
Yeah.
Because he's like, I finally understand that there's some white men that are different. Not all of them are like Cottonmouth.
Damn, yeah. Because that's after Warren catches Billy trying to leave when they're like camping out too.
Yes.
Yeah, damn.
Because it's easy to buy into because it's just like he appreciates nature basically.
Well, yeah, he appreciates what the warden's doing. He doesn't seem to have like some ulterior motive or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Also, basically, he's like kind of just going to his death, you know.
Yeah.
No, but then because this is like where Peter Falk actually is the one who gets told to go find Billy One Arm because like he should be back by now, so there's something wrong. Why did you notice then?
I'm looking at him right now. He does not look like Peter Falk. Like the way he's shot, I don't know.
Yeah, because he's actually one. I guess they capture Billy too.
Yeah, I guess.
And, like the warden gets away.
Yeah, damn. They go. Yeah, basically, they go and like try and capture him, and they're like, because then I think Cottonmouth also says like deliberately do not kill him, as well. So he gives that order because then we kind of like find out later on why. Then like they take Billy at night. Like Billy's like Billy like tells him like the warden's a good man, but then like they like basically they kill Billy pretty much, nail him to a tree.
No, that's not what they nail him.
When they nail him?
Because remember what they say is Manchineal. That's what he like keeps screaming is Manchineal. I had to look this up, but it's like and it's kind of implied in the movie because they say because he's like why is he so freaking out about Manchineal? Okay. And like the professor guy of the group, he's like it produces sap that destroys. Like it basically causes swelling in your whole body, and he's like, it's the only tree that can carve its initials in you, and that's when it shows him on the tree and stuff. But it's like basically one of the most poisonous trees in the world, and it's actually a real tree. It's called Manchineal.
Okay,
yeah, believe it. Anything in Florida like that can kill you.
Yeah,
you're scared.
And that's why he's like basically hanging from that tree, like, and he's killed by the poison.
Okay, so
And I'm pretty sure it's the same tree that Billy saves the warden from touching. In the previous scene, he's like about to touch the tree. He's like, "Oh, don't touch that. That's a poisonous tree."
Okay.
And so like he dies from that same tree later. Because like Billy's like freaking out about. He's like, "I'd rather just die like some other way."
Yeah. And then like the warden like wants to like.
He's about to take
him away, but then like the wife is like, "No, we have to, like Symbols are on their way to bury him properly." Basically.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. No, it's honestly a great shot of when she arrives too. On the water, she almost looks like a Grim Reaper or something arriving to take the body.
Or just like that, basically just death waiting at the gate of Hades to
exactly.
carry you in.
Yeah, exactly.
On the boat.
Yeah.
Then like she takes him back to town, the warden, back to civilization. And he's like struggling back, going back into bed basically because he's like wounded or whatever from the attack. And then we go back to the gang. So we get like the boat that's like selling the melons. The girl like arriving. And he's like, "Oh, like give me melons for all my boys." Like she's like throwing melons at him.
No, this is his wife.
Is that his wife?
Yeah, okay. His daughter. Yeah, that's why it's like honestly one of my favorite scenes because it's like the villain is getting the wife scene.
Okay.
With this like amazing daughter. And he's like getting like it's just like a beautiful scene, honestly.
It is a beautiful scene.
Even the way it's like the sunset in the background.
Yeah.
It's like a pink sunset in the background. It's like a low angle, like to like kind of romanticize the daughter and the wife. Because like we even get this shot of like the daughter like falling in love.
Yeah, the
with
deaf guy.
The deaf guy. And the wife is like, "Oh, she's 16. I was beginning to think I was raising an old maid." Basically, like pointing out like Florida ass, like
yeah.
But it's like so sweet too, because it ends with he's eating that melon, And he's like, "Ah, sweet tasting joys of this world."
Okay.
The way he says it is so good.
Damn.
It's probably my favorite part of the movie.
Okay.
Cause so like it really is like he's shifting everything you're supposed to be like. This is supposed to be a villain, the bird killer.
Yeah.
And like he's getting this like amazing kind of just like still good
Like humanizing scene.
Yeah, humanizing scene,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what Ray's all about. It's like there's no heroes or villains, really. They're all just humans. And,
Yeah, he's not more.
and he's more about the environment too.
Yes.
Like the environment creates these kind of people.
See, I guess it kind of also gets because that scene is cut straight to the
July
scene
4th.
July 4th scene on
yeah.
the beach too. Just kind
Also
of
really good. Like how I wish this was restored because it would look so much better. But
yeah.
like these are also gorgeous shots of like them on the beach. There's like one where the guy's like waving to this boat when it's like passing by.
And like apparently like because isn't it implied like he like they're like because like the girl gets one of the ladies gets mad at the old guy George for like waving. He's like they said George, you know,
but it's just like one of the most sudden cuts in the movie where it's like, of course, you have to get this like romantic. That was like probably for the trailer.
No, it's like so funny, like how like just like random it is. Like go to the. He's like, I love your mouth. I watch it all the time. Your funny wide mouth. Oh my god, that shit's so funny. It's like
it's almost like endearing how like.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
Define this one was.
It's endearing, yeah. That's what I was saying. It's like hilarious how like sudden it is.
It's the last one in the movie, you know.
And
I don't think she shows up after.
Yeah, and they like go. They of course go into the bridge. Like they like sneak up under the bridge. Like gaze me to the side. You know, with this background. It's just so funny. And then we go to like town where there's like a celebration going on. And then like the warden sees one of Cottonmouth's men. I think it's the one from earlier, the one that set him up in the bar. He comes in on a mattress, and he's like, oh, this guy has dengue fever, but he's like, and the warden like sees right through it because he sees, I think he knows it from the bar earlier, and basically like holds up his knife, and then like the guy like immediately pops up because he's like afraid, and then like he slashes the mattress and discovers like he's like smuggling feathers in basically, and then like immediately takes that to like the town hall meeting and is like shows everybody.
They don't care.
He's like he accuses Mr. Liggett of being the one that's like funding this, and then like the judge apparently that's there is like oh no we can't prosecute him, but like but if you get Cottonmouth, like
he's like, we'll give you a warrant to arrest Cottonmouth.
Yeah. You personally go and get him.
Exactly.
Like,
Damn. Basically getting rid of him.
It's a death sentence.
Exactly.
It's like if he can serve it himself to Cottonmouth, pretty much. So basically, and then like the warden, he like goes to the bar. We like the great song,
Whiskey on Water.
Yeah, Whiskey on Water. Damn. And then then he tells, and of course he has to tell the love interest he's going to the Everglades. She's like, don't marry me as a gesture. Like I guess she kind of does like reject it, because like doesn't he wants to get married. He's like will you marry me? She's like no. Oh, I won't get married to you, not as a gesture. You know.
I don't think this ever comes back either.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, yeah.
But it's like it's just so sudden.
I had no chance to come back.
Yeah. It's a lost love, Danny.
The love between the boys grew. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. He's for the boys now. And then he goes back into the chaos of nature, immediately to Cottonmouth, who sees him kind of riding in straight to him
immediately.
Then the warden he throws his snake at him.
That's also another thing I love. Like, he basically is never a hero. The hero is never a hero. He's like getting caught right away.
Oh yeah,
he has no chance. The whole
he never
movie.
has any power in this movie.
There's never any
especially
power.
Especially in these scenes.
Basically that's a really good way. He never has any power. So like.
He has this illusion of power, this badge that no one respects.
Well, it's not. It's more like he's heroic because of like the. Because he's human, like the same way we were talking about in Bitter Victory.
Yeah.
I guess. This kind of human heroism. It's like even if you have no power, you still kind of try to do what you think is right.
Yeah.
But no, that's why I also like this kind of these final scenes of like both of these. I was saying earlier how both of these men are both created by the same society of they're both unwanted parts. Like no one wants society doesn't want to think about these two parts, so they just kind of outcast into this Everglades in this case, and they have to kind of face off now on their own. Or maybe both of them realizing that too.
Yeah.
And the respect that comes with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then then they go to the. I guess it's I don't know where, some place inside. Like everyone's huddled around the two at the table.
It must be his cabin, I think.
Yeah, something like that. And he's telling his men to smile as they're glad to see him.
Where the camera pans across all their faces.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's a little Rossellini or something.
Damn. Was he ever seen similar to that? You mean just
pans across face?
Oh, pans across face. That's what you mean.
Maybe a Fellini,
Okay. And then Cottonmouth
some ugly ass smiles too.
Yeah. He definitely does a good job casting these faces.
Oh, 100%. And then Cottonmouth gives them something to drink, and they're passing the.
It turns into a drinking game.
Yeah, they're passing it back and forth.
It's so weird because whenever I first started watching the scene, I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because they're just wanting to kill him, obviously, is what I thought.
Okay, yeah.
And this is what I thought. And then Cottonmouth is just basically no, I kind of like this guy.
No, yeah, Cottonmouth's yeah, I like this guy. Yeah, he's doesn't want to kill him the whole time.
And then he basically becomes one with the group. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's kind of it kind of does invite him. He's because the warden tells Cottonmouth his name finally.
Because they just keep on calling him Bird Boy, and whenever he's drunk, he's like, "I'm neither a bird nor a boy."
I think they respect how honest he's being, how he's just clearly not scared of dying. In front of them and stuff.
Because the Cottonmouth says the warden would fit in well with the group.
Yeah.
I think the professor guy he calls him the professor, the Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
This basically, I think he's the smart guy basically.
Mm-hmm.
Says something snarky, and then Cottonmouth's I'll cut I'll get hands a guy. He's I'm gonna hand you this knife to cut those fancy words out of your teeth or something like that.
But then the professor guy, isn't this the guy that also he asks him what do you say about being in the Everglades or something, or what's the 5-letter word that you use, or 6-letter word?
That's Well, first Cottonmouth says, "Mr. Murdoch, we don't need your 10 commandments in the Glades. We do all right with one. Eat or be ate. Eat or be ate is the law of the Glades." And that kind of talks about that was with the naturalism thing I was talking about Deleuze and stuff. Yeah. But then the professor's in other words, Cottonmouth carries the freedom of the individual to its logical conclusion. I think that's when he gets mad at him for saying some nerdy shit. And then there's a part where they're all enjoying themselves after they're drunk, and then Cottonmouth says, "The sweet tasting joys of this world again."
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah.
And then after they're talking, he's "What's that 6-letter word you were talking about?" And he's trying to. He's about to start ranting, and he's "Just sum it up."
Yeah.
he's "Turn off your phonograph. Just give me one word." And he's protest against the whole overgrown spider what we call civilization. And that's really what both these two characters kind of see them as similar.
Yeah.
And it seems kind of a Ray staple of characters he likes,
Yeah. Because then obviously the warden eats the alligator tail that Cottonmouth gives him. Cause he's very drunk at this point.
They go outside too when it's done.
Yeah, they go outside.
They're going crazy.
And the warden basically they're
I mean the guy literally says he's part of the group now or something.
Yeah. They're both chugging it. And then immediately hard cut to him waking up in the mud.
Oh, I loved it. I love the cut because after I saw him drinking all that moonshine, I was like, this hangover's gonna hit.
Well, we've all been there.
The first thing he does is just grab his head. I loved it.
It's really waking up in the mud is crazy. It's a very muddy movie.
It is.
And then Warren goes to Cottonmouth, and Cottonmouth gives him his gun back, which obviously I feel shows he he like trusts him now.
Because we're gonna learn his like plan of like he's gonna give the warden a chance.
They're gambling.
Yeah, give him a chance basically
to arrest the Cottonmouth.
They're gambling.
And he's like, and then like he's like, your life against mine. Those are the stakes I like.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't it's not in this scene, right? It's soon where it's like the warden also says he's like a gambler, right?
Yeah, that's the scene. I'm pretty sure.
Was it this scene?
I think
says
so.
like
yeah. He's like, are you a gambler? And he's like, who else would take a job like this?
Yeah. It's like damn. And yeah, like then basically Cottonmouth goes with the warden. These scenes are like amazing too because it's like the movie does kind of slow down. It's like a love story between the two.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like they're both kind of seeing their similarities in this like protest.
Yeah,
because like even the way they're handling the situation, like Cottonmouth handling it as a villain, like giving this guy a chance, you know, instead of just killing him or like doing what a typical villain would do.
Yeah,
showing some kind of honor in a way, and then also this other guy like even taking up this challenge in the first place. So like when he's clearly probably shouldn't be doing this, but he's like trying to take him back by himself without any guide.
Even like the Cottonmouth's like taunting him in a way. Like when he like goes into like the one section, he's like I made it through here once, I can do it again. Like Cottonmouth's like, well, I'm not helping you.
Yeah, well, that's part of the bet. He's like, I'm not gonna help you. I'll help you paddle, but that's it. Or row, that's it.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, but I think my favorite moment of these scenes too is like when he's like looking at the birds, and like he's like, can you see they're beautiful? Like
yes.
And like Cottonmouth's like,
that's after he gets hit with the oar and shit.
Okay, right? yeah, I think so.
Because that's whenever they're sitting on that. It's one of the great scenes of kind of, I guess, that quote earlier where he's like, you can't like see where the difference between like the grass and the water because they're literally just like in a swamp and they're just sitting on these bed of leaves on top of the water.
Yeah. Well, that's like this is like because they stop after. It's like one of my favorite. This sort of Cottonmouth, like he actually is like he's like kind of one of these like wise guys, like but he doesn't like say it like in a typical like intellectual way or whatever. But because this is where he wants to the warden's like he wants to walk and get out or something because it's like the shortest way, and then Cottonmouth's like in the glade. Sometimes the longest way around is the shortest way through. And I love that line because he's like, "What are you trying to say?" It's like you figured it out. But it's like a great line if you actually think about it, you know, in terms of like basically like the glades will kill you if you don't know like basically everything about the glades. A shortcut will basically kill you, you know. And that's basically what kind of happens. But it, like I love how Cottonmouth even dies. It's like so random. You know, it's not even a fight.
His hat fell off, and he's like,
and he's like, exactly. It's like a snake that like snakes that he loves too that kills him. So it's like so random, but it's like part of this like almost like a real world killing.
Like like nature doesn't like.
Yeah, nature killing.
Like, well, it's all random because like even like the hallucinations that happen to the warden or whatever that causes all this is random. Like you don't really know what's happening.
Well, he's having hallucinations and then he sees a snake.
He's just tired or something.
And he shoots the gun. Cottonmouth thinks it's almost similar. Now it reminds me of Run for Cover's ending a little bit.
No, yeah, I can see that.
Because he shoots a snake and then Cottonmouth hits him in the head, thinking he was shooting him instead of the snake.
Yeah.
But I do love, like, this is why Cottonmouth's so good, because he's just, like, after he hits him, he feels bad about it. Yes, he feels really bad about it. Because that wasn't part of their bargain or whatever, but...
He's, like, very honorable in his own kind of way.
It's like, he cares about this guy. Like I feel like he would have killed him if he fell asleep earlier in the boat. But I don't know, man. I don't know if he would or not. He could have.
Yeah. It's crazy. Because then, Cottonmouth dies, and then you get, like, the shots of, like, nature. Well, some great shots of, like, him dying. Like, the one shot of, like, him dying, like, in, like, in the foreground while, like, the warden's, like, paddling away.
His last line, too. Where he's like, maybe he's looking at the birds flying, geese flying. He's like, maybe he was right. Guess I never had a good look at them before.
Yeah, damn.
That's a great line. And then it, like, shows them. But then, like...
But then it changes to a vulture.
Yeah, it changes to vulture sounds, too. After. Because if you remember what Billy One Arm says... when he's comparing the two white men, he says like one of them is like a white I forget what bird he says. He's like one of them's like
heron
a white bird, white heron, and one of them's like a black turkey or something.
Yeah, and
it's almost like the vultures he's talking about the same. No, and I love the shot too of like when he's like laying in the foreground dead, and then like we also see him in the background in the shadows, like floating off. Yeah, and that's kind of the movie ends.
Yeah, he became one with nature. The end. But
Actually, it actually shots ends with some shots of the birds too.
No, yeah,
It
shots
does,
of
yeah.
the birds, yeah, like the end title card. But yeah, damn, yeah, that's Wind Across the Everglades. Also, yeah, that's also the Nick Ray series.
Damn.
I guess before we, as in tradition, we have to give our rankings of the movies. So, you have yours ready, Blake?
I do.
Okay. Well, I guess Danny's tier list. Like, that we're gonna accept his ranking in the order he says it.
True.
You better choose your
Choose the
your
order
orders
wisely.
wisely, because we're gonna take it as literal as possible. So yeah.
All right.
Blake.
My number 10, On Dangerous Ground. I feel like that's probably going to be common for all of us, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. My number
Not
9
me,
is Run for
but-
Cover. My number 8 is Bitter Victory.
Yeah.
7 is They Live by Night. 6 is Wind Across the Everglades. 5 is Rebel Without a Cause. 4 is Bigger Than Life. 3 is In a Lonely Place. 2 is The Lusty Men. And 1 is Johnny Guitar.
Okay. Good picks. Then too controversial, I would say, maybe.
Probably not. Wait, did you say that was controversial?
No, I was saying nothing too
Okay.
controversial.
No. I don't think so.
Maybe a Bitter Victory's above, but I don't know.
I think it's just because I love Rebel Without a Cause.
Yeah.
So.
I can see that. But yeah.
Right.
Danny?
My first tier by chronologically. The Lusty Men, Johnny Guitar, and Wind Across the Everglades.
Damn. Wait.
Johnny Guitar. So.
Oh, I thought you skipped Johnny Guitar. I was like, wait, not on tier
Lusty
two?
Man, Johnny Guitar, Wind Across the Everglades.
So, so like, if you had to like rank those three though,
No.
what's your
Tier-
favorite Ray film? Like,
Tier 2 chronologically.
uh,
They Live by Night, Bigger Than Life, and Bitter Victory.
okay.
Tier 3 chronologically, In a Lonely Place and Run for Cover. And then Tier 4, Rebel Without a Cause, and I'd probably say I guess I'll probably On Dangerous Ground the same.
Damn, that's crazy.
Hates Rebel Without a Cause.
He does.
That's crazy.
I mean,
You
I don't
hate
hate
James
it.
You hate it.
I have no desire to rewatch it at all compared to these other
I
ones.
haven't.
Like, compared to Wind Across the Everglades, it's like crazy. But of course,
You're not gonna like my order.
I don't know. I'd rather rewatch Rebels Without a Cause.
Oh,
Or Rebel Without a Cause.
no.
But that's, I mean,
Codemath
you
is so
should
much
understand
better.
that. You should understand
Codemath
that.
is like if the whole movie was like about that villain guy.
I'm connected to Rebel Without a Cause because of my Saya love anyway, so.
Yeah, but Size is way better. It's like
Well, okay, yeah. But
Yeah.
not way better, but it's not. I mean,
it's better.
It's still early side too, I guess. So.
Early as you can get.
Mine is at number 10, Run for Cover. Number 9, On Dangerous Ground. Number 8, They Live by Night. Number 7, Wind Across the Everglades. Number 6, Rebel Without a Cause. Number 5, In a Lonely Place. Number 4, Bitter Victory. Number 3, The Lusty Men. Number 2, Bigger Than Life. And number 1, Johnny Guitar.
Johnny Guitar overall number 1.
Damn. Yep, it's Danny's number 1
Tier
Ray
list,
film.
Tier 1.
Danny's number 1 Ray film.
I didn't
Johnny
say it
Guitar.
first, so I don't know how you got that.
I don't know, Blake said it, so why not? It sounds better if all of ours was Johnny Guitar. Yeah, that's Nicholas Ray.
Yeah.
Next week, what are we doing? We kind of
Football.
brainstormed football-themed
It will
episode.
be a football theme episode at some time.
You know, it's going to come like a week after the Super Bowl. But
It's
like,
fine.
Okay, it'll be
We'll
understandable.
be
We-
recording it the week of the
we also did the Christmas episode like a week or two also after
It
Christmas.
was a week after.
It was like 3 days after. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, but it came out like a week or two after Christmas.
It was Christmas. I mean, still Christmas vibes. Like, if you release one now, like, it wouldn't be that bad. Christmas theme.
It would be
episode.
bad. It's almost February. It's
It'd be a
basically it's
little
February
late.
now. Actually, it is February.
It'd be late now, but
Okay,
Very
yeah.
late.
In January, it's not that bad, I feel like.
we posted in December. It was
Yeah.
fine.
It was really make a big deal.
Did
out of
It
it.
was, yeah.
Did we?
He's like, it's basically Christmas over the day after.
But no, but I was more talking about like it would be coming out like a week later.
But anyway, we're doing a football episode. It'll be fine. It's not the end of the world. We haven't
We
done a
already
sports
know
one.
what we're doing. What, Last Boy Scout? Is that what she said? Maybe a different football movie.
Because is that a pure football movie? Kind
I
of.
don't
It's
know.
more about it's a
I've never
conspiracy.
seen
It's
it.
an actual conspiracy movie too.
Okay. You're
So
selling me.
it's kind of good, but
Tony Scott and his conspiracies.
Yes, sir. But yeah, until next time, hope to see you floating through the clouds.